want to keep this growth and scalability conversation going on. I think this is important. The more I dive into it, the more I look at, the recordings I've created, the podcasts I've created, the content I'm sharing, and the work I'm doing. This term scalability, right? We're going straight to scalability because here's where I want to start this. You can grow and not be scalable, right? That was my story last week. You can grow and not be scalable, because the two key points with scalability are efficiency. And let's just give you a quick example of that from my world. Efficiency. If I understand the roles of my front desk and their role in the company today and in the future, then I understand that there are 3 roles for my front desk. And I understand that if I create this sales role and this customer service role and this admin / biller / whatever role you want to call it, I understand how each of those fit into the scalability of my business, right? My front desk salesperson, right? Or the front desk person responsible, front desk team, person responsible for sales. I understand how many sales calls can they manage. So by the way, when I'm 1 person or 2 people, frick, man, I can keep growing. And with the systems, as I develop them for the salesperson that person can accommodate more, and then I'll know where the cap is and I can be efficient. So with 1 front desk salesperson, I can add more clients' patients to my current system and increase my margin. Now I'll hit that, right? I'll hit that point where they can't accommodate those people and I'll have to bring another person in. But man, if I've managed this properly, right? Because really, if you think about it, if I bring a second person in, they're going to impact my margin, right? Because there'll be more cost involved to treat 1 person. Yet if I do this properly, right, then I can make sure that as I bring on that next person, this thing just keeps the margin, keeps going. So as the growth goes up, the margin should increase, my friends. You shouldn't have the same margin with 5 PTs as you did when you were on your own. So you can have growth without scalability. And the sad part is, and I'm going to say the sad part here is I see people, this is my whole leaky bucket conversation, literally flushing more money, flushing growth down the toilet because they don't have scalability. This is what I wanted to mention today also. So we're talking about growth without scalability. Gave you an example, right, that you should become more efficient and should increase your margin. And again, thinking of your front desk team role, because I see people, I need to hire more admin people. I'm like, what are they doing? If you don't know their accountabilities, their responsibilities, and their tasks, you're just adding expenses onto the system, which shrink your margin. So here you are growing and you bring these people in thinking you need them but you didn't understand the role and where they fit to scale your business. And this was the point of last week. It's scalability, then growth. Everything should be thought about. What's the next step? How does this person get me to the next step? How does this person get me growth with efficiency? Everything you do early on should be with that mindset. So, right, you say, well, geez, I'm not going to hire 3 front desk people when it's only me. And I'm like, you're right. So that first hire may be a catch-all person, right? Meaning kind of a do-all. They're going to have to do all the jobs. Or maybe you say, look, I need that front desk salesperson because they're going to drive growth and revenue. And I don't want to fuck with them. And I don't want to fuck with them and give them stupid tasks that impede their ability to drive growth. At the same time that they are building out my scalable sales systems for me and sales process to manage people in phase 2 of my patient's journey within my business, right? So that person may be a little more catch-all. You have to do 2 or 3 jobs, yet you better hire that first person to build out your systems. This is a huge miss. So I crossed a lot of beams there, shall we say, from the Ghostbusters movie, right? But I just want you to think about that, right? We need scalability to accommodate growth. The leaky bucket drop-offs No shows, cancels, wait lists are a sign of poor scalability. Wait lists, man, a wait list is a problem from so many angles. People are so proud to share their wait lists. And I'm like, there's no successful business on the earth that's proud to share with you the people who want to do business with them that they're not doing business with. Build up your wait list. I'm like, bullshit. Understand your systems. Understand, right, the metrics you need to measure. This is a whole nother conversation on scalability and growth. What metrics do I measure? What metrics are actually the most important metrics to the company? The single most important metric to your company is completed plans of care, right? That's the team goal. That's what everybody's working towards. Underneath that, we could break that down. There's only about 5 significant metrics in your business. And the biggest tell below completed plan of care is drop-offs. If you're tracking leads, you're tracking first visit arrival, right? And you're tracking drop-offs, you have everything you need to run your business. Are you tracking all those? I've yet to find people truly tracking drop-offs who can show me a real metric around that. Drop-offs are the single biggest indicators of your current systems, of your current patient's experience, of your current understanding of your patient's journey within your business. Drop-offs are the number one canary in the coal mine. And when someone tells me they're not measuring them, then it is that the understanding of the scalability is lacking. This all comes from understanding what your patient's journey within your business. When I finally came up with the completed plan of care as the ultimate patient and business metric, it was because I understood the patient's journey, and I was looking at that in front of me. I was like, look, someone who starts here, where do we want to get them to, right? Where do I need everybody in the business to focus? The front desk salesperson, the customer service person, the admin person, the providers, the billing team, the aides, the techs, the assistants. Where do I get everybody to focus? I get them to focus on a completed plan of care. And then I show everybody, here's a scalability, their role in a completed plan of care. So they're focused on their part of the bigger picture. They understand how this part feeds into the bigger picture. They understand their role, the front desk person, right, in moving someone from an initial contact to arrive and pay. They understand what they do, how that ties into a successful patient journey, which is part of that is setting the provider up for success, right? That's scalability, because then you're only looking at the metrics that matter. Visits don't matter. Capacity matters. Visits, completed plan of care matters. Right? So you see where I'm going here. Completed plan of care has visits baked into it. You don't incentivize visits. This is the other thing. What people are incentivizing is a big tell of their understanding of their patient's journey and their ability to scale up. So yeah, there are lots of things in a very short amount of time here. But let's get back to me now, right? This was the issue when I was dealing with this. I had the front desk dialed in. We had the lead sources dialed in. I mean, at least I knew where they were coming. Our marketing was part of the problem. Knew what to do with someone once they called and once they arrived, but I hadn't connected the dots. Again, didn't understand this patient journey within my business. I understood parts. So I wasn't making sure that information collected at the beginning of their journey was passed on to the providers, right? And so we were missing that. And then going back and chasing people who say they're running around constantly putting out fires don't understand scalability and the connectedness of their patient journey. This is all the same conversation. So if some of this is confusing you, then just go back and watch this and understand that it goes from patient journey, patient experience, right? And then I build out the systems to create the experience. So it goes patient journey, patient experience, and then the systems. And then the connectedness of their journey is the patient experience you want to create. Now I need that ultimate business metric. I need accountabilities from all my providers that feed into that, right? And then I can start to scale this thing. Then I can start to get more efficient. Then there is no wait list. There should never be a wait list, because I know what's the tipping point. If I know my capacity, I know what the tipping point is for everybody. There is no wait list. And I understand there's a hiring issue and people have a difficult time, but that's why if you understand that, and that's going to be a scaling issue, then you have your hiring funnel on 24/7, 365, and you have resumes on file. And when you start to see things hit that tipping point, you start calling people if you understand the scalability. And scalability means you understand where the hiring system fits in the whole process. So, right, this whole growth and then, everybody does this. I'm going to repeat this. I did this. Well, we'll grow, right? And then we'll build the systems out, right? I need to grow first. I'm like, no, you need to understand what scaling means. You need to understand your client's journey. This is why everybody skips these steps. Everybody, me included, you skipped them too, right? We know the steps. We know the foundation to create business success. And then we start skipping stuff because all we want to do is get more people in. And then we have to start, and then people start busting out. They drop off, they cancel, they no-show, the leaky bucket. We put them on a wait list. A wait list is not more work, right? Excuse me, decreasing cancels and increasing arrival rate that leads to a wait list is called growth. So if you can't accommodate that wait list, or you're not prepared to accommodate that wait list, then you're not ready to scale up. You're not ready for growth. Every one of those people sitting there is someone who would have been, right, with efficiency, would have been bringing you a bigger margin. But those people sitting there, those are wasted visits. That's wasted help. People raising their hand saying, I want your products. I want your services. I want your experts. I'll pay you for it. And you're like, nope. Again, the success of that is understanding that that's going to come, and be talking to people and having, right, the hiring process got to be scalable too. So what metrics do I look at to make sure I'm tracking and looking for trends and projecting? I think maybe that's what we'll do next week. We'll look at the three key metrics, 5 key metrics that you need to be looking at for scalability. If you're looking at visits, maybe that's growth. But again, I'll finish with, I got to 1.5, 1.7, right? Growth was up and down. It was always like this. Why? Leaky bucket, poor understanding of marketing, right? The connection from the sales back, or not the sales, but the retention back to referral, back to marketing, right? Not understanding the systems that needed to be in place there. Not having good automation. Automation is a big part of scaling. It's not the only part. People think that's the only part. Automate what you must and keep the rest, right, to the humans is what it is. Understand where automation fits, and you can leverage the hell out of it. But again, that's where I was missing out on all this stuff. I was missing the connectedness. And man, some parts were dialed in, and then other parts we were just running around putting out fires. Again, if you're running around putting out fires, it's not understanding that connectedness. Doesn't mean there won't be fires, but you should be able to put them out. They're done, right? This is my thing with the cancels, right? You run around trying to put out cancel fires, but you're really not, because as soon as you put this one out, there's another one flaring up behind you. Whereas if you go upstream, because you understand your patient's journey and you understand the experience you want to create, you can prevent cancels. Just had a lengthy online chat discussion with someone about their cancels and no-shows, right? And what did we talk about? Way back upstream. First phone call, phase 2, first visit, setting all those expectations, making sure they understood the value that they will receive, setting and managing the expectations around your role in this journey, this plan of care, to this final destination, which is completed. These rules of engagement, I'll bring this up one time, right? I think I brought it up last time. Huge part of scalability. How do we manage a client, right, from initial contact to a completed plan of care? The rules of engagement. It's a conversation for everybody on this person's journey. The front desk person, the salesperson, the front desk person who does the customer service, the provider, the end of the visit for eval day, at the end of the eval, front desk again, customer service person, right? And then how do we get them to return? How do we keep cancels to a minimum? How do we prevent no-shows? How do we prevent drop-offs? That's the scalability. That's the system called rules of client engagement, rules of patient engagement. That's scalable as fuck. When I help people put that together for their business, I'm like, this is your hiring process. Show people what their role is in patient success in your company. Show everybody, the billing person, the front desk person, the provider. That way, everybody gets to see how everybody's working towards one common goal. Becomes part of the hiring process, part of the training process, part of the onboarding process, part of the accountability process. Because then you show someone, here's your role, here's your responsibilities, here's your accountabilities. Here's all the people around you that support you. By the way, everybody has all people around them, not just the provider, that support them, right? So do you want to be part of this team? You're showing them the systems, the systematic way you move a client, a patient, through their experience with your practice, right? That's scalability, because that can accommodate growth. Because we never ask more of the provider than, right, the capacity and those things. But yet we let them know up front, right? This is your 0 point. I need you to hit these numbers every month. Once you get over that, right, we can talk about other things. By the way, once you get over that consistently, then we look to hire. And by the way, we already have people in the pipeline, right? So you guys can see again, and this wasn't going on very well in my business. Wasn't going on enough. We didn't have those rules of engagement to show anybody, which would have made life way easier at every level. Would have made the hiring process easier, the training, the onboarding, all easier. If we had those rules of engagement, which are the systems to deliver on the patient experience that you want to create for all your patients, right? That's scalability. That accommodates growth. Growing, adding more people into the system. When you don't have the systems in place, it's just like running the car, running the RPMs up on the car, running the RPMs, and then you sit there and redline. And then what do you get? You get burnout, you get churn, you get turnover. So you see it at the patient side and the employee side. I see this with so many people. They tell me they like need help with their first phone call. I'm like, you need rules of engagement. You need the systems to manage this whole thing. You need people that in your business to understand their accountabilities and responsibilities. So again, this conversation around growth and scalability and where they fit. And again, growth does not lead to scalability. And without scalability mindset, without this mindset around systems and these touch points and connecting all these touch points, you will not accommodate growth. And you'll be sitting on wait lists, flushing money down the toilet. You'll have a leaky bucket issue, right? You'll be paying for all this marketing. People will be dropping off, canceling, and no-showing. The good news is there are solutions for all this. Doesn't matter if you're starting today, if you've been in business, if you're 5 clinics or 30 clinics. I've helped all sizes with this. The rules of engagement, understanding lead sources, right? What do? Come in, look at the current state, and then we go all the way back and start at the beginning. Let's start here, right? And we write out the rules of engagement at the front end, and then we make sure each step is connected. Happy to chat with you about any of that if you want some help. If not, go to it. Watch more of these videos. It's all in here, by the way. It's all in the videos, man. It's all on my YouTube page. I was reviewing this week because I was looking for the growth and scalability stuff. And I wanted to, I wanted to pull some stuff together, and I started putting everything in order, and I'm like, it's all here. So you can go watch it. You can go study it. You can go read about it. You can try to apply it, or we can speed up the whole process, and you can reach out to me and I will have a chat. I will listen to what issues you are having, and we can see where to go from there. Happy to help. Cheers, my friends.